Welcome, and thank you for tuning in. This is the Branson View, a show that celebrates true stories of life and business from America's heartland. Join us each week in the pursuit of freedom, truth, and courage that inspires us to take action. Let's get started. Oh boy, do we have a show for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. In the studio today at the Branson View, we have Coach Steve Bailey. Steve Bailey is a real estate developer and investor, and also he has gone to great heights in the direct sell industry. And we also have Dr. Ralph LeBlanc. Dr. Ralph LeBlanc is a 24-year veteran in the chiropractic profession, and he is also really excited about some health and wellness products he's going to be sharing with us today. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Ms. Holyfield. We're really glad to be here, Dr. Ralph.
Thank you, Steve. I'm pretty excited to be here. This is amazing.
Why are we laughing? This is all good.
Well, because we've been talking about this for so long and getting it going, and it really is just absolutely amazing that we're getting this thing off the ground. So this is this is the day we waited for so long.
So what you're saying is better late than never?
Better late than never. Hey, you don't have to be great to start.
We're going to have all this, that, and the other in a bag of chips, right?
You don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great.
Oh, nice line, Doc. Where'd you get that one?
What? It just comes to me sometimes.
Yeah, you are the man, like a Mr. Passion, like a Dr. Passion.
Right on. Hey, Tammy, thank you so much for putting this on. Thank you for inviting us to be on the show. I know me and Steve are super excited to get this going and be part of this with you. So thank you so much.
Miss Tammy Holyfield, Ask the Coach, best-selling author. We're just very blessed to be here and sincerely want to go out and just touch as many people as possible to bless them because life is good.
I just can't believe I get to breathe the same air as her. That's what I can't believe. I mean, that's the cool thing for me.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
You guys are way too much.
Pause in there.
So Tammy, you mentioned that you might have had a couple questions for Steve and I don't know.
I do. I do have a couple of questions.
I didn't want to steal anything from you, your thunder or nothing, but I think me and Steve did our homework. I think we're ready for whatever you could throw at us.
You give Doc the mic, you might as well just watch out and sit back.
I love it. So I was thinking, if you look around the nation today, I mean, we are in an incredible place. The Branson View. We are in God's country. There's so much wonderful things here. The scenery is great. The climate is very nice. A lot of people though don't have that same atmosphere, that same environment. A lot of people are in a rat race. They're running, maybe in a big city, or their families are they're working really hard and really struggling to stay healthy. And so today I'd love to chat with you guys on a more, what do you do on a daily basis to stay healthy, to have your families to stay healthy, and why is health important to you and your family? So,
well,
Dr.
I'm going
Ralph?
to tell you the first thing I did was I got out of the rat race. I mean, I moved here from Atlanta, Georgia. If anybody's been to Atlanta, you kind of know what the situation is there. But being here in Branson, it's been pretty amazing. I mean, it's definitely afforded me an ability to build a practice as a chiropractor, but touch a lot of people's lives that actually I never thought I would be part of. I mean, I look around and I think, wow, how did I attract this person into my life? Or I don't know. It's been pretty amazing. I mean, it's a great community, number one, but what do I do on a daily basis? I mean, I have probably a few things that I do, my core six, what I eat, what I drink, how I rest, how I exercise, the air I breathe, and then what I think about. I mean, those are vitally important to everybody's life. And, living in Branson, I mean, you're right. I mean, it is pretty beautiful here. And we got my man, Steve Bailey over there. He's beautiful too. And so it makes for a great environment. And if anybody, I'm not going to encourage too many people to come live here because, we don't want to
Don't
create
tell
too
nobody,
much chaos. Yeah.
Don't tell nobody.
But no, it really lends itself. I mean, Branson is an amazing community, and just being part of it. I mean, when I go to the area I grew up, I'm there for a few days, and I literally can't wait to get back home.
And where did you grow up, Dr. Ralph?
South Louisiana, so 60 miles southwest of New Orleans. And so I come back here and it's home to me, so it's pretty good. And I think, Steve has been around. I think you moved here, about 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, has it been?
Yes, been here for about 12 years.
Yeah. And, here's what I've watched Steve do, because he's been a client in my office and things like that. And we've been really great friends. And, I joke that we have this like amazing bromance, which, we really do, but I play hard to get sometimes. But he's, I've watched his family grow. I've watched him have kids and just everything he does. And he's really an amazing guy. And all that, I mean, he's been able to put a lot of things together. And I'm really pretty happy that we're working as a team with some amazing health technology in the marketplace.
Amazing, Doc. Yes. We moved here kicking and screaming.
You can't believe I said all that stuff about you.
Wow, that was really nice. I'll pay you later.
All right.
I'll pay you later. But no, 10, 12 years ago, we drove here with everything we had in the car and a fresh new start. And Branson has been really good. It's just unbelievable. The blessings God has rained upon us and the family and 3 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife. It's just, I feel like I'm living a dream life. So it's really exciting. The doors he's opened here in Branson. We came here, as I mentioned, kicking and screaming. I'm not moving to Branson. My dad tried to get me moved down here 10 years prior. And it's like, I said, this is hillbillies gone wild down here and I'm not interested. Right. So it is what it is. It's a great place to raise a family and health. Let's talk about health. The most important part of health is, I would say, water, drinking a high quality water that is, I focus on every day, as much water as possible. And the right nutrition as you can, super greens out there, different products, and the what we stumbled on too, Doc. I don't even know the
technology that's 15 to 20 years ahead of its time. Is that where you're going?
I was trying to come up with a little something. Yeah, right.
I'm right there for you, buddy. I got you.
The software for the body.
There you go. Eloquent.
So you just need a little something right there. The software for the body, and it is touching.
I'm inspiring him.
He has inspired me. Yeah, he expires me and inspires me, and it is fantastic to have this relationship with my brother from another mother. We got the same haircut, same barber.
Awesome. Yeah.
So what else, Tammy, can we go and do to help as many people as possible? Because getting out of the rat race is the most important part.
It definitely is. I mean, I tell people, we're all experiencing the same. Let's just look at the last 18 months. We're all experiencing the same stressors, really, So, it's not the stress, it's how you respond to it that matters, and when you have faith, obviously you have a way to respond that, really kind of facilitates being able to manage things on a spiritual level, because that's really what it boils down to. I mean, if you can handle things on a spiritual level, then you're able to dissipate those external stressors much more effectively, much more efficiently, and live that quality lifestyle in every area of your life, in your relationships, your friendships, your business ships, in your business, in your home. I mean, everything. In your
business ships. Did you hear that? That's a new word.
I just made that up.
No,
you didn't. I've seen it before. You used it on me. Just so you know.
Hey.
But it's all good.
So, yeah, I mean, those things are vitally important for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Ralph, you were saying that you and your wife, you guys have about 6 different, you call them protocols that you guys do, kind of habits that you do every day.
Yeah. And, it's like the 6 essentials of life. It's kind of like what you eat, what you drink, what Steve talked about, water, how you rest, how you exercise, the air you breathe, and then what you think about. And I always tell people, when I'm teaching those concepts, is like number 6 is the most important, like what you think about, what you think about the environment, what you think about the environment that you live in, your home, your community, all those things. And, if you're saying I live in the rat race, then you need to evaluate that. I mean, it's definitely something that, and it's a changeable thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of fear behind it because, it requires change. And, if there's anything about people that I know is like change is the most difficult thing for them, but this is a time in our world's history where there's been a lot of change. And I think if you're not changing with the times or changing with the situations, you're going to get left behind. You're going to get run over, and it's not going to be good. So for your health or your happiness.
That's right. Well, thanks so much, Dr. Ralph. Let's take a quick break from a word from our sponsors.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. No drugs, no injections, no kidding.
And we're back from the break. Dr. Ralph, Steve, you guys are making me think about a fable that I heard many years ago. Have you ever heard Aesop's fable of the goose and the golden eggs?
I got a buddy named Aesop. I know him.
The golden goose. Tell us all about this golden goose, Miss Tammy.
Well, the fable story goes like this. A farmer goes out to the hen house, and there he finds a golden egg. And he takes the golden egg and he's trying to open it up and see if it's real. It's solid gold. So every morning for like 7 days, he goes out there and he gets a golden egg from this chicken goose. So the farmer was like, wow, I think that I could probably get rich a whole lot quicker if I just harvested all the eggs that the goose had. So he kills the goose to get the golden eggs, and he finds out there is no golden eggs. The goose was actually producing the golden eggs daily. So I think that reminds me of how we try to run ourselves ragged in order to get rich quick, in order to, get all of our to-do lists done. And in doing that, we actually jeopardize our health, our wellness, our families. We're not managing our time or our physicality or our health. So we are actually our own greatest asset. What do you think about that, Dr. Ralph?
Well, as you're telling that story, it kind of comes to mind as like, out of necessity, people, when they're entrepreneurs are really drivers. I mean, they're going to push through a lot of things. And, when you're laying it all on the line, like starting a new business, for me, starting a new practice 24 years ago, bootstrapping it, like your intention is that I need to reach a certain level in order to quote unquote pay the bills. I need to eat. I need to, do all these things. And so you do put a lot of attention on it, and you do put a lot of hours, a lot of effort, a lot of contemplating and thinking, which again, going back to the 6, that's the most important one. And I think that's customarily like out of the gate when people are starting a business, they tend to do a lot of that. I think what they forget is that at some point they have to reevaluate and say, okay, here's where I'm winning, make adjustments here because I'm not winning here. And then when you can eliminate those things that you're not winning on, I think you're able to take that energy and put it further. And then, as you prime the pump, because it's like a well, like, it's a little more effort to prime the pump, but once you get the pump flowing, I mean, it's going to flow for you. And that's a great story. It actually reminded me of another story. And it's like this little kid, he's like a little cowboy. He's dressed like a little cowboy, and he's like always so happy. And everybody's like, why is Billy so happy? It's like, I don't know. He's just a happy kid. He's just optimistic. And one day he goes over to his uncle's farm, and he's like looking around, and his uncle goes, hey, I want you to go over to that stall, and I want you to, kind of shovel manure for me. And he's like, absolutely, I will definitely do that. And his uncle's like, why are you so happy? He goes, Uncle Bob, with all that manure, there's bound to be a pony in there somewhere.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello, the pony.
But that's the thing. It's like you're going to put forth work whenever the reward's there. The reward being, you're seeing your efforts being like rewarded, and in business, it's, the exchanges. I put forth effort, I get remuneration in dollars, right? I get paid money. But there's always like, how do you evaluate that? How do you stay out of that rat race? And, for me, for my family, me and Sri, we definitely looked at making our kids priority. Number one, when we started having kids, like I knew like I was never going to compromise on attending an event for my kids. And that comes from, this is a lot of this learning for me came from a lot of pain because, I played baseball, I played football. My dad had never seen me hit a home run, and I hit a lot of home runs because he was so busy working, thinking that's how he was going to provide. And so my commitment when we started having kids was I didn't want to miss those things because they were important to me. And so I just felt like I want to break that kind of generational curse, and I want to be there. And so in my practice, and all of my patients knew that if there was the Thanksgiving Day, everybody gets drugged to the Thanksgiving Day play, and then lunch. Like if it was 10 o'clock, I was closed at 10. We were over at the school doing it. My girls played competitive volleyball. I closed the office. The money, like you can't scale teaching your kids principles that are going to last them a lifetime. The one thing you can't scale ever is happiness. And to me, that's what I lead with is happiness. And I think because that's what I focus on, like my efforts, the effect of my efforts produce more happiness for me. So.
Well said. How about you, Coach Bailey?
Wow. Can you repeat the question? Because that was an amazing dissertation. And I just kind of got...
There's a pony in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm still looking for this pony because it's all good.
I think the question was looking at your life, your greatest asset, being able to balance life and business. Tell me how you do that.
Well, we've been very blessed. Everybody lives in America. We live in the land of opportunity, but from a small age, kindergarten on up, we go to school, get good grades. You know the story. Hey, good grades, get a college education, get married, live the American dream. Well, what we find out is as we go to school, this is fantastic. We get education, but they are training us to be great employees, right? Not business owners. And then once we get out of high school, we replace our teachers with the boss, which then becomes, again, a job. So America lives in the land of job right now, 90% of the people. So what people need to understand that there is other ways than just the getting paid by the hourly. And what most people have missed is the magic of residual income. Most people don't even know what residual income is. Passive residual income. It's the most exciting thing in the world for the average family and the above average family or anyone to have is the chance to learn how that would work, because it's basically, being able to earn money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for doing something one time that continues to pay you over and over. So it's exciting that I've teamed up with Dr. Ralph and you, Coach Tammy, that we are able to show some people how that works, because, we definitely live in the land of opportunity. Right. And we're trying to reach out and touch people and educate people on how they can better their lives, because most people are so stressed, living the 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and then they have you retiring 40% of wasn't even enough in the first place. So it's with what's happening in our country, we got to really wake up and understand that there's different choices that we need to be looking at for us and the average people out there. And just we want to go on and bless as many people as we can. So it's all starts, as Dr. Ralph talked about, with the happiness between your ears, having the right mindset. And that's what we're trying to reach out there and do, is help touch people, coach people, and move them in the right direction. Because if you don't wake up America, you're going to be in deep, deep trouble. It's even hard to afford toilet paper, coffee, and cigarettes these days for most people. So, Coach, back to you.
Well, we shouldn't be smoking.
I agree, but most people do because they're so stressed out. I personally don't smoke, but a lot of people do, and they're having trouble paying their other bills because they're smoking. So again, it comes off to good choices. You know what I mean?
Well, unfortunately, I used to be a smoker. Terrible, terrible, terrible habit. I am no longer
shook right now.
You are shook
right now.
Oh my gosh. Right? No longer a smoker. I have not had a cigarette.
I'm happy about that, but just the fact that you even, I'm shook.
I know, right?
Wow.
I know. Well, I was in that rat race. And so instead of, other substances, that's what I did to kind of calm my nerves. But now I've replaced that obviously with the Spirit of the Lord. And I'm very grateful that I am no longer a smoker.
Amen.
But amen. Because that is definitely not a healthy habit for sure.
You mentioned it's all about healthy habits and developing those healthy habits and habits, that's it. It's all about the right habits.
Right. Absolutely. That reminds me of a scripture in 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20. And you guys give me just a second. I'll look that up for you. It's very interesting. I started to really think about my health and wellness after I read this scripture, because oftentimes people really, they think about their life, they think about business, but they may not have a perspective of what I'm doing is a major concern to God. And so 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20 says, "Do you not know that your bodies are a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you and whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body." And I know if you read that whole context, he's talking about purity and some other things, but that really hit me like a brick. Because before that I was like, well, I'm a good person. I'm not hurting anybody by the way I eat, or maybe I don't exercise or I don't drink enough water. And I was in corporate America for a very long time, and talk about a very stressful environment. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations for performance and meeting standards and goals. And so I'm a very driven person, like you said, we're entrepreneurs. We're very driven to get our to-do list done. But, that kind of wraps it back into the Aesop's fable is when you start to look at yourself as the golden goose and taking care and honoring God with your body and how you monitor your health and your wellness, it takes it to a whole nother level.
I'm glad you just got hit by the brick, because if you not changed that, you'd have hit the wall, the big wall.
That's right.
And here's the thing, every day, when I'm seeing patients throughout the week, no one really, no one's conscientious about their health until they don't have it. And by the time they don't have it,
it's too late.
It's
almost too late.
It's almost too late, but the effort to get it to turn that ship around comes at a high price. And so often, we talk about maintenance or being proactive in your healthcare and things like that. And I think that's really something that is very much underspoken. I don't know, it's not spoken about as often as it should be, because, if people were more aware of it, top of mind awareness, they would do it more. I mean, it's not the big things you do, it's the small incremental things you do. I just talked to someone today, and, they said, hey, how many treatments is it going to take for me to feel better? And I said, number one, I don't have a cookie cutter answer for that, because everyone's different. But, right now you're in a situation where it's going to cost you a little more. And he says, well, I've seen you over the years. I said, if you'd have maintained a low level attendance, meaning more maintenance type care or something like that, I said, this wouldn't be as big of an issue. Right now, it's going to cost you a little more. And it let's talk about something everyone has, an automobile. We have to change the oil. We have to change the tires. We have to rotate the tires. We have to vacuum it out. We have to do all of those things in order to make sure that quote unquote investment, to drive us around is taken care of. And we do that. For the most part, people really do that. So they spend money. So they're making a payment, they're paying insurance, and then they're, paying for maintenance. No one does that with their health.
Right.
I will tell you that people do it for their animals before they do it for themselves. And that blows me away. And look, I like animals. I don't love them. I like them. I don't love them, but I like them. But just that perspective kind of really blows me away. I'll tell you first and foremost, to my wife and kids, like I will give them my last breath. I will die first so they can breathe another minute more. But when it comes to my overall health, in order for me to get that extra minute more, I'm going to do something every single day, whether it's the water that I'm drinking, what I'm eating. And here's the thing, folks, like we don't have to be perfect at it. None of us are perfect. We're not that, crazy about it. We just have to be consistent with it. And when we're consistent with the things that we do every day, the byproduct of doing those things every day, going for a walk, drinking more water, breathing the clean air of Branson, Missouri, okay, it's not that clean. Don't come here. If you're in LA or some big city, don't come here. No, I'm just kidding. But understand, like everything we do every single day, spending time in prayer and meditation and reading great books and filling your mind, because here's how it happens. Like we become very conscious about the things that we read, we see, in our daily environment. If we can on purpose put the right messages in front of us and our children, guess what happens? Your consciousness pays attention to it on a conscious level first, and then it drops down to your subconscious mind where you don't have to read it every day, but your spirit knows that it's in there. And then when it knows that it knows, guess where it goes? It goes right into your heart. And those are the messages that you want to put in your heart, because that's how you're going to process and see the world.
Right. And that's how you create that sustainable change.
Absolutely.
When you know better, you do better.
You do better.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think, Coach Bailey?
Everything he's talking about, I can, whatever we do, let's just think about it as a compound effect. It compounds. Whether you're doing good things, it'll be better, great things later. Whereas if, you're eating sugar, eating donuts, you eat the donuts, keep eating the donuts, it's going to add up, right? So you're going to have the compound effect in life, no matter what it is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, or whatever your habits are. And people just don't understand that, but that is the most important thing. If you can just catch that, as Doc was mentioning, you've got a vehicle. If you were to put gasoline in your vehicle, which we do, imagine putting water in your gasoline, or imagine putting sugar or Pepsi in your gasoline tank. It is not going to run right.
Wow.
So you got to put the right nutrition in your body. You got to put the right fuel in your body in order for it to work properly. And Doc was right on the point. The compound effect will change your life, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You're going to pick one direction. That's where you're going to head.
Yeah. Every choice you make is either going to bring you closer to your health goal or further away from it. And every choice has consequences, And it compounds. And some are good and some are not.
Compound consequences.
You've been listening to The Branson View, a weekly podcast dedicated to sharing stories about real life and business from America's heartland. Thank you for joining us today. For more information about our sponsors and how to connect to us online, go to www.thebransonview.com. This episode of the Branson View podcast has been sponsored by an independent LifeWave distributor.
The statements on LifeWave products on this podcast, website, or associated materials have not been evaluated by any regulatory authority and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The content provided by LifeWave is presented in summary form and is provided for informational purposes only. Always consult with your physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new treatment, diet, or fitness program. We assume no liability or responsibility for damage or injury to persons or property arising from any use of any product, information, ideas, or instruction contained in the materials provided to you. LifeWave reserves the right to change or discontinue at any time any aspect or feature containing our information. Our patches are based on the theory of phototherapy. The patches are not proven based on conventional medicine standards and should not be used in place of medical care.